Oh, can you hear me, Andy?
Good evening, Major Tom. How are you?
Oh, dearie folks, that was a bit last minute. As for some reason my Mac Mini on the internet, and then I'm like, oh, okay. What do I do now? Reboot. Still was trying to find the network and had set myself up. Couldn't get my sound and mic to work, but anyway, managed to reboot. Managed to get the Wi-Fi again, and unfortunately for you all, I'm here.
Fortunately for you,
yeah.
I'm here.
Yes, you got two of us tonight because Gavin's travelling back from the game, and Carl's and is not feeling well, so himself
Get well
for
soon,
tonight.
Carl, mate. We miss you.
Feel better soon, Carl. Yeah, exactly. So yes, I'm just going to pull that out of there. Try not to make too much noise. Apologies for that if I did. Wow, right, there we go. So a lot of people in the chat already, so let me just look at and see what's going on there and get that up on my screen. So that's good. I'll come to you all in a minute. Before I do the intro to tonight's show, how are we feeling today, Andy?
Yeah, very good, mate. Actually, very good. I had a lovely night last night down in our local. I had a few beers.
Yeah. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah, all Block Niners. Great stuff last night. Great start to the week as well. Or the day, to New Year's Day. It's all blending into one, isn't it?
Yeah,
but yeah,
it is.
Right,
it's been this hectic festive schedule. Anyway, right, let's crack on then. So, evening greens. So today's game ended Stevenage 1, Plymouth Argyle 1, and yes, it is another point away in the bag from home. A game where we were the better side, I felt, overall. Did the watch along earlier on today. But somehow we went behind after a dominant start to the second half by Stevenage and their first attempt at goal, and they score. But then we remembered we don't lose away anymore, do we? Then a triple substitution from Cleverley on 63 minutes and the return of Caleb Watts into the side, who came back like he had never been away. 5 minutes later, winning a free kick and then setting up Malachi Boateng, who said, "Don't worry, lads, I've got this," and calmly slotted it into the right-hand corner of the Stevenage goal to draw Argyle level. So we were then on the front foot and we thought, oh, could we go and win this game? But we just couldn't do enough to score a second. And then with the last 10 minutes or so, it was all Stevenage. Hazard, though, pulling off a brilliant save right at the death to share Argyle, or to give Argyle a share of the points. So another fight back, another unbeaten away day. That's 4 now in the league and 10 points from it too. So how our fortunes have turned, but we have to find the answers at home against Burton on Sunday. And can we start 2026 with a win and 3 points at home? It wasn't the best of games, Andy, was it? It was. I said on the watch along, it was scrappy at times, but Argyle, I did feel, sort of had control of the first half. Stevenage were very scrappy. They were passing long balls that were going out to touch. They weren't feeling comfortable. They also made a few mistakes in the back, but Argyle just couldn't capitalise on that in the end. And then it was Stevenage for at least a good sort of 15 minutes come that second half, right out the blocks, get the goal with their only shot. And we thought, oh dear. And then we managed to come back into it. So a fair result, I think, a point today.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I don't think Argyle were at their best. It was better, than it was against Wickham, to be fair. But yes, a well-deserved point. And, we're all sort of baying for sort of Boateng to go off. At least I was, because I just thought he's doing nothing here. And then he pops up with a goal. But I think masterstroke by Mr. Cleverley, bringing on the 3 substitutes, bringing on Amici to play the ball into Watts, to put the ball across to the goal scorer,
Yeah, Boateng. Yeah. I think I'll sort of disagree. I've disagreed with a few, even on the watch along. I thought Boateng had a good first half. The second half, Argyle did just have that spell where they were all a bit at sea with Stevenage dominating and getting that goal back. But I've got the player ratings in a minute, and for those that agree or not, Boateng did come out as the star man in that squad. So we shall see what everybody thinks. Let us know in the comments, of which so far We do have. So we've got Stephen Cooper in tonight. Evening to you, and Happy New Year again to you all, Steve. What else have we got here? Michael Hawke saying, evening all, another good result for Reading today, 2-0. They're right up in there now, so that's fair play to them. So come on, the Greens. GT says, feels somewhat disappointed with a draw. Feels like 2 points dropped. They were awful, as were we, in spells. Yet Stevenage weren't really great for the bulk of the game, and certainly that first half, they just couldn't get through our defence and couldn't find a pass. Argo83 saying, evening bedwetters. We had some good banter. Yeah. Gavin is not with us tonight because he's travelling back, but we were having some good fun with that earlier on in the watch-along. PTR47 says, another terrible performance by Hazard. The need for a new keeper in this window increases game after game. Stevie Vaughan saying, evening guys, interesting new theme tune. It is, because the other one is effectively copyright. So I've had to I thought I'd just mix it up. So that was a bit of an AI spin-off. And nice and calm and relaxed, I thought it is too. Nice to say again?
I was falling asleep.
Well, it is after a few busy days.
My age,
Yeah, exactly. Nice to see What's Back, says Stephen Cooper. Accent and Pilgrim, unbeaten all year, as you said that earlier in the watch-along, Andy. Brian Penaretta from Boston, Massachusetts, says, evening all. Not the true results that I was expecting today. Argyle overall played well. Watts being back was great. Mitchell once again saved our butts. Hazard is way too shaky in the net. We'll come on to that in a minute. Stephen Cooper saying, music making me sleep. So there we go. Maybe I'll have to try and mix it up again. Barley finding form is a good thing. He did have a better game, says PTR47. Good to see Randall being Bristol City's best player week in, week out. Another goal today and man of the match. 750k utter daylight robbery. Club should be ashamed. Well, maybe the club didn't have much that they could do about that. But yeah, he's doing well there. I'll read out a few more. There's loads coming in. Nicholas G, shots on target too, says it all about the game, but at least we did convert one. Hazard is turning into by name and by nature. Simon Fort, after evening to you even. Happy New Year. Thanks for the live commentary earlier. No problem. So yeah, I'm going to come. There's lots. Just keep them coming in, guys. I'll get back to some of them. I have got the player ratings, the usual stats, the usual Sky Sports highlights, which are quite short considering it clipped out a few more chances in the game than they want to show. Plus Cleverley's post-match and Caleb Watts' post-match interview. We've also got Harvey's thoughts at the end, and Gavin gave us those thoughts too, which I've got in here. So a few things to bring you tonight. Now, we just want to recap, if we just wind ourselves back a bit to Tuesday night, because obviously we haven't been on since then, and the Wickham game. Andy, just give us your view on that game. It's another home game where, yes, we scraped a point, but it wasn't a great performance, was it?
Oh, mate, it was an absolute typical Wickham performance. For those who remember Wickham for a few years ago when they came to Home Park and they just totally ruined the game by all the dark arts. I'm not going to say anything because Sophie's in the room. But all that sort of stuff going on, with people sitting down on the floor because they want to, keepers going down to break up play. It's just all the dark arts. And they came to frustrate us, got an early goal, and then just parked the bus and the kitchen sink as well, I think. So, yeah, it wasn't a very pretty game, but good to see Big Pepple popping up at the end. Try saying that. Pepple popping. Pepple popping up at the end.
Pipple Pepper picked a pepper.
Yeah. To nod in the goal, which I didn't think actually crossed the line, but I think the liner gave it because he should have given us a penalty, before that. But there you go.
Who cares?
Not pretty.
The amount of different angles. Yeah, the amount of different angles for that goal. And it was off his shoulder as well, so if it got to his head, it probably would have gone over.
And it's another point gained, though, isn't it? It's one of those points gained that could be vital for us towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I think for me, there's clearly this issue at home, and I know there was a lot of calling for Tom Cleverley again after that game. We robbed it at the end. That's how I see it. We were shocking in that game. No attempt at goal again all the first half, and we didn't really come into it, like we did after Reading pit 3 past us. So it was disappointing, and to give the goal away in that Wycombe game, early as well. Poor defending again. I felt Hazard just doesn't come off his line, to cause problems, and if the defenders, are not going to sort of clear it either, it just makes it a bit more easier for the opposition. I left that game sort of just like, well, what's given? And I mean, luckily away, we seem to be pulling something out. It was a scrappy game today. So it wasn't the best to commentate on or watch. There was a lot of head tennis going on all over the show. But Argyle were more organised, more disciplined. They high pressed. They stopped Stevenage from trying to find a pass and get through. There was no really trouble for Hazard at all in that first half. We found some attempts to get forward, Andy. And, you listened to it. Obviously, I watched it. You joined in with the chat on the watch along. But, we had some attempts to get forward. Ross's header was probably the best of the first half. Should have got it more at goal. He sort of headed it across the goal. It went just wide of the post. You had the Rules shot as well, that was deflected and hit the crossbar, but you also had the shot where just inside the 18-yard box that the keeper saved from him as well. Another player that clearly changes the game for Argyle, so it was good to see him back in the squad. So that was nice to see. Just read a couple more comments, Andy. What we got here. Stevie Vaughan saying, interesting, none of the top 8, I think that says 1 today, and 6 bottom half teams took points off teams in the top half. Just goes to show again how tight the league is. Andrew saying both games, 2 goals. We didn't stop the cross and a keeper who is very poor. Accidental Pilgrim said he's good at saving shots. Who do you expect in goal? Ronaldo. David Tom saying song for the Devonport end on Sunday. Hazard, move off the line. P.S. New goalkeeping coach is doing a fine job. Not. Interesting one. Ethan Prosser, evening to you. Hazard thinks he's playing rugby at the minute, kicking every ball out of play. There was a fair amount of that today as well. PTR 47 saying at home, do we need to go 4-2? 3-1. I'm not really a tactician, but I think we've got to find something away from home. So I'll go to the player ratings a minute, and let's bring that up. So Hazard obviously getting a lot of talk again tonight, Andy, in the threads here. We talked about it a lot on the last live. We've all sort of said we want to go Ashby Hammond in, and I know some people think that's just mad anyway out there because he's had some howlers. But I don't know what it is. There was one save, or one instance where he came off his line in the second half and plucked the ball out of the air. And I remember joking about it on the show. But I don't know. He just doesn't seem to want to come off his line. And I think he should have done better for their first goal as well.
Yeah, you often think with Hazard, I think his mind's elsewhere. I think he wants away from the club. I don't think he's happy here. That's been shown in his performances on the last few games. It's just like his body language speaks to me that he doesn't want to be here. So, when he does do something good, he can do something good. He's a great shot stopper. But his kicking is atrocious, and he can't play from the back. He's uncomfortable playing from the back. He's lost that little bit of confidence that he had.
He scored a 6.4 in that, which, to be fair, he didn't have an awful lot to do. He did pull off that one really good save towards the end. Other than that, that was about it, really.
And that's what he can do. He can shot stop like that. We saw that against Liverpool, didn't we? That one he tipped over the bar towards the end. That last season. He's a great keeper. He's got it in there to be a great keeper. But I just don't think his heart's with the club at the minute. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think it's a problem. I can see some of you sort of obviously in the chat. So it's just, look, we're not bereft with Hazard and Ashby Hammond, but that doesn't make me feel comfortable or the back four comfortable. You're never going to know that your keeper's going to come off his line and you're having to work harder. We'll see the highlights and the goal in a minute. And I just feel like, he could have probably got a bit more, not from the ball being crossed over initially. It's the way it dropped to Wilding, I think it was, who then took a touch and then smashed it into the back of the net. I just thought Hazard just didn't get his positioning right at all there. Just before I carry on, Mark saying Happy New Year. Ross should have put us one up, absolutely, as I was just alluding to that one. It was, and we would have won that game. A bad miss. What reason and why is Hazard number one choice? By Tom Cleverley. 2 points out of 9 when we should be getting 9 against that opposition is just not good enough. And TC is not the coach to take us forward long term. Great to see Watts back. Yeah, I just touched upon that, Mark. But I mean, it's the home form. Clearly now that is the big issue. Because mentally that seems to be a problem, but away from home, we've picked up. I mean, yes, it's 2 points out of 9 with the Reading and Wycombe games back to back at home, where we, should have got more out of them. But we have got 10 points out of those 4 away games, and we have to be fortunate and thankful that the away form has suddenly taken a turn. In the back line, we got Sorinola on 7.3. I thought he had a great game. Mitchell 7.8, Ross 7.2, and Edwards 6.8 in there today. Yeah, Sorinola for me impressed. I mean, the back four, even Ross, who's taken some criticism, Andy, from people and even on the show, I thought he had a solid game as well, and his score seems to sort of say that, really.
Yeah, definitely. He's a good player. He's got it there as well. Mitchell is 7.8 speaks for itself, doesn't it? Sorinola, yeah, he's up and down that wing, quite linking up with Mumba. So those are 3 good players at the back, and then you got Joe running out of puff at the back, with 6.8, but he still manages to get up and down the field until he has to come off and be substituted. But fair play.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mitchell seems to be settling back in again. I mean, Brian Pinaretta saying there, Mitchell and Ross kept us in the game today. Pleggy wasn't even in the squad at all today. We think it is just being cautious with his knee. I saw someone mention the comments earlier that maybe we sort of rushed him back too soon into the match. But you sort of do worry. He didn't have his best game on Tuesday night, and that could be then that he isn't quite, feeling 100% suddenly with his knee. His angry knee. But yeah, Ross
around for Sunday, Mike, though, couldn't they? They might just sort of say, right, rather than give him 2 games, because Stevenage is going to be a tough game. I think Burton will be a tough game, of course it will. But having Plaggy back in there on Sunday will be a bonus to us. And certainly with Caleb Watts coming into the side as well, that's going to be like 2 new signings again, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and actually, it's Stevenage were up there. I mean, I've said this league is tight. I mean, Exeter got a win today and jump up to 15th. That is how tight that league is. But going away and getting a point to Stevenage is still good. But I think with these games so close together, Edwards wasn't great. He did get substituted when they made the triple. I think when they made the triple change, it says that with his 6.8 in the game. He didn't do too bad. I mean, I didn't see him do anything overly wrong. He was handling Patterson in the first half with Ross very well, cutting him out from getting any crosses in. And then the second half, Boateng seemed to pick up that mantra and didn't handle him very well at all, in my opinion, at the back there. Letting him get too many crosses in. And I think it was either him or number 20 who came on that got the cross for their goal. Then we come forward to obviously Boateng and Wiradou starting alongside Rules and Mumba in the game. There was some debates on our last show about Boateng not being great, and I don't see a major issue with him. Gavin equally. Carl is very much. He doesn't see much from him at all and wants to sort of move him on in January. He had a very sort of, for me, stable, goodish first half. He was. He didn't do too much wrong the second half when we were under pressure. A few others did, but he scored a brilliant goal. But yeah, I mean, Boateng for you, Andy. What's your thoughts and how do you see him?
He's very hit and miss. I think he plays better when he's got Rules in the side, and I think that showed against Wycombe the other night. He just he didn't have the best of games, to be fair. Let's be candid. I'll say that for Gav. But having with Rules in the centre there, giving him a bit more freedom to run around and to find that pass to get on the end of a cross for a goal. There's he's just got that more freedom. He feels as if he's not going to carry it all on his own in the centre. Yeah. Well,
he wants.
He was.
I mean, he got his score. Say again.
No, sorry. I thought you'd gone mute for a minute. So I stopped talking.
No. There's definitely a couple of second lag. Yeah,
yeah.
So there is a bit of a little lag between that across. But Boateng with a 7.8, he was the FOTMob star man for Argyle, as you can see on screen there. So yes, I agree with Andy. You know, when Rules comes back in, everybody seems to, you know, play a lot better. Wiradou had a good first half. He was okay second half. He sort of really wasn't involved in too much, and then was substituted on 67 minutes. Same as Mumba. It was that triple, I thought it was 63, but it wasn't. It was 67. That was that triple substitution, which is then what changed the game. But Rules definitely, for me, was notable. He was coming back, supporting the defence when, you know, sort of Edwards or Ross were getting forward, and, you know, he was receiving the ball back and then setting people up front. But the one thing that was evidently clear against, missing from the Doncaster game, besides 5 goals, is the ability to go forward and find some space and catch Stevenage on the counter. I said it in the second half when Talai received the ball, Andy. Like, it was the first real time I recall actually mentioning him coming into the game. He was very non-existent in that first half, working hard, but just wasn't getting anything to do with Peppel. Also had a better first half, was getting more of the ball up to him, as you'd expect. But yeah, there was nothing for the two to really run onto, was there, in this game?
No, they know just how much a goal threat Talai is, and I think we've seen that in the last 3 games. He hasn't scored in his last 3 games, so you know the Wycombe game is testament to that one. And he struggled against Reading, and today he didn't look isolated, but he was like crowded out quite a lot. You know, there was players around him all the time, and knowing that if the ball goes to him, he's gonna cause trouble to score a goal maybe. So they had to man mark him.
Yeah, he is a threat. I don't know if he's still up there or someone else has nicked the leading goal scorer tag at the moment. I haven't looked for a bit, to be honest. But yeah, I think Peppel and Talai up front, Peppel with a 6.6 and Talai with a 6.8. Peppel was more of the target man, but for me, was okay, but he just wasn't able to get too much off the back of it. And I think that was a bit of a difference today, is sort of with Aseni up there. You know, he's been brilliant linking up with Talai recently and the rest of the team. And just a little bit of that seemed to be missing today. So that's the squad numbers from us. So the lowest scorer on there from FOTMob is Hazard on a 6.4, and then Boateng, as I said, on a 7.8. Graham Byrne saying, thoughts Sukes was okay when he came on. Yes, he was. He's been getting a lot of stick lately from people. I don't think, again, he's that bad. Once again, the squad are doing well. He tends to play well as well and likes to get forward, which is good, create some chances, which is why I think he was brought on. Dad the Jana saying, I was surprised Peppel stayed on today and they didn't change the shape when Watts came on. Michael Hawke saying, Talai, a marked man now with his goal record. He is, but he did. There was actually that was in the first half. The one ball that Peppel fed through to Talai, just a little bit too heavy. Couldn't beat the keeper to it, but it was a superb ball fed through, and that was probably his only real big involvement and opportunity in that first half. What we got? Stephen Cooper saying Ross done well. I'll eat my words, but this is the thing. Rules clearly makes a difference, and away clearly makes a difference. And whatever this mental issue is that we've got at home, we've got to make sure on Sunday that we start on the opposition a chance, because that will be their tactic to try and come at us, won't it, Andy? And knowing that we do falter and make mistakes at home, we're a bit nervous and edgy, and just try and take it to make something of it. More out. We've got Brian Penneretti Vaughan on the start of the game. I'll come up to that one in a second. Boateng at right wing is criminal and showed we had nothing going forward in the first half. His 5-yard passing is horrendous. There was a couple of those spells. It was in the first half. He had won the ball off the defender. Again, we were forcing mistakes by pressing them. And he just, I think, didn't know who to pass it to and got caught in two minds and underhit his pass, and it broke up the play. So that was unfortunate. Graham saying audio, as in I'm guessing questioning the audio. Hopefully you can still hear okay. We have had some issues and some lag going on. I keep freezing supposedly. Well, it might be my Mac then deciding that it's going to throw up, and it's had enough of me talking into it today. Can you still hear me, Andy?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Bit of brain freeze going on for you, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's definitely a 2 to 3 second. Yeah. Can't do anything about it. So at the end of the day, Andy, just if you can hear me, just going on to Sunday's Burton game, it's so important that we try and find a way to get, not a draw, need to get these 3 points, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 home games we conceded in 10 minutes. Reading game, the Reading went on to win their game, and of course Wickham drew with us. But yeah, we've got to get out on the front foot, get the boys forward. You haven't got that pace with Aseni in the side. Sorry, I'm flip flopping again. Sorry, with Aseni in the side. So we've lost that pace with Aseni. We've lost Ibrahim, who's got a bit of pace. We're having to sort of rely on Peppel up front, who hasn't got much pace, and he's running through treacle at the time. Yeah, some subtitles are available on all valuable networks. But yeah, we need to get on the front foot. You're absolutely right, mate. And we need to get an early goal if we can, because Burton got thumped today. I think 4-0, something like that, or 3-4-0 today. So they're on a hiding. They were on a hiding today. So we've got to go and beat them to try to jump out the bottom 4 and then start to build on our home form. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hopefully you can still hear me for highlights now. So let me just run those, and we can all give our thoughts on what we thought from the performance of goal and the defending leading up to these goals. Really well with the free kicks in this game, in my opinion. Here's his deflected one off the crossbar, which I thought that led to the corner for Ross's header, but maybe I got that wrong. So this is leading up to the goal now. Referee played on, which is fairness to him. Number 19, Reed, down on the deck. So we'll see the goal. Wilding did well to take his chance. It was a great ball in from Patterson, who managed to get. He wasn't able to do that at all, really, in the first half. And here's the deflection off the defender, and poor control. Watts doing so well here, and Malachi Boateng, Japanese. I don't know, Voodoo. We've got issues tonight, so I'm just going to go with it.
We need some of the red stuff.
These are quite short. Yeah. And this is the save, I think, from Hazard at the end. God, it would have been absolutely gutting if they'd have nicked the winner.
Yeah.
I think that is it. Yeah, that is it from it. Our defence is so, I won't say because Sophie's next to me, but to a degree in those spells, I think it looked like, Andy, that Hazard sort of caught up in each other as he came out, and he's almost behind an Argyle player as well. I've got Spanish. You can't really?
Okay. Okay.
I have no idea what to say. I'm guessing Reese.
There he is. No,
Andy,
he is. Anyway, there you go. A bit of Spanish for you. We entertain on this show.
So, what are your thoughts on seeing that their first goal now, Andy? You've watched it back.
Oh, just again, dreadful defending, isn't there? Really, no communication. Someone's got to give a shout there. And we didn't hear that shout. So, yeah, very, very poor giveaway. We conceded too many of those goals like that, haven't we? If you're
it's sloppy goals. And it was their first chance, of the game, really, before that. Dad, the Jana makes a good point. Yes, if you've seen the sort of Umber tries to stretch out his leg to stop him from shooting. To be fair, I don't pin that all on him because he was trying to get back to block it. I I don't know if everybody's having
a
piss take or they're just suddenly hearing us in foreign languages. But it'll be interesting when I download it later and try and catch it back. But yeah, so I don't blame Mumba for that. I just his line and should have done better to block the gap. Dada Jana saying, did you hear the Stevenage manager saying they deserve win? I thought one was about right. They just had that spell at the start of the second half. It caught Argyle out. They came out of the blocks. They were poor, in my opinion, in the first half, and certainly not deserved of being, as it was then, I think, 10 places above Argyle. But whatever rollicking they got at half time, they came out on the front foot, constantly putting pressure on, got the ball in the box, that then led to their goal. So they did their job, but I think a draw was still a fair result, Andy, at the end of that.
Yeah, I think that's what we're forgetting then. Why can't Stevenage and Cardiff were running away with the league earlier on in the season, weren't they? And they were both 1 and 2. So Stevenage were top, Cardiff second. It's sort of chopped and changed a bit now, and they're starting to sort of find their true position in the league, if you like. And they're not a very good team, if you're honest. So you've got to go at teams like that, especially away from home, and go and try to nick something up there. And I thought we could nick it at the end, but. Yeah,
Argo 83 saying that manager is deluded. Barn Park Green saying, well, that's Alex Ravel for you. The bloke's full of nonsense. He thought they should have beat Cardiff with 20% possession. And Oliver Stanley saying we played a lot better than them overall, and that was my point too. I felt coming off the watch along, Argyle did deserve to get the point in the first half. The audio is back to Janners.
Job.
And now all is well and good. To be fair, we repeated so much of the same at times that probably hearing it in Janish probably makes a welcome change. Right, let's to Tom Cleverley's post-match thoughts as well.
How do you reflect on that point today?
Yeah, I thought it was a point where
doesn't want to load the video
and say I don't think we take a point 6-8 weeks ago, 2 months ago from that game. We're becoming more and more hard to beat. If you reflect on the Wycombe game and certainly say we were only at it for 50% of the game, I'd say today that was higher, 2/3 of the game. We were certainly the dominant side, and it's just that sort of crave of a complete performance and what that can do to us, whether that's concentration, whether that's fitness levels in a tough congested period. But yeah, we got punished for the 20-minute period. We were flat, but responded well and finished the game.
I think there's an element of I think you what, sorry?
He's frozen now. Technical issues all night. Mate. What's going on?
No, that was coming to the end. I sort of clipped it off at the death. But yeah, I don't disagree with him. It was that just 20-minute spell really for Stevenage. Even though they had possession and at half time they were showing more of the possession in the first half, not much more. But Argyle just held their shape, just stayed, sort of together and just stopped them from being able to create anything and do anything with the ball. So we've all seen that. Actually, it felt reminiscent to a degree of Argyle sometimes in games where they just had to play the ball across the back because they can't get forward. And, Argyle have managed to sort of, do that more to teams at the moment. Stephen Cooper saying the league is mad. Port Vale winning 5-1. Yes, and they did go a goal down. Have they got their new manager bounce? And is that going to bring them a few results soon, which is why we've got to sort our home form out. Brian Pinarata saying our negative goal difference is not helping us at all. No, it's not, especially after clawing a lot of it back and then giving it all away again. Argo 83 saying Cleverly looks like he's been out on the piss for New Year's Eve. Well, to be fair, we wouldn't say anything for him for having a few sherries or not last night. Dad the Janna, you look at most teams in this league, they don't really look good, and if we could just get the ball down and pass it, most can't handle that. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. There was a lot of head tennis in this game today. Barn Park Green saying they've lost one game at home all season. Wow, okay, yeah, that's a good point to make. And as Andy said, they were right up there at the top of the league early on. So let's hear from Caleb Watts as well then. He was a player who was interviewed post-match, and boy, was it good to see him come
Caleb,
back.
nearly 4 months away. Nice to be back.
Yeah, really nice. Obviously, I've missed it a lot. It was really frustrating to be out for so long, but yeah, it's really nice to be back now.
Knowing your character, seeing you around the place, I can't imagine you've been all that patient in a good way. You've been buzzing around and wanting to get back involved. Have you had to sort of teach yourself to be a little bit patient there?
Yeah, for sure. I think I was desperate to get back, but also being patient that the best I can impact it is when my body's ready. And I feel like the medical team's been brilliant with me, as have the coaches, and we've worked to a point where I feel ready, feel fit to impact the team, and yeah, hopefully I can continue doing that.
Andy, we were hoping that he might get, and obviously he came on as part of, and for all the people that sort of berate cleverly at times and how frustrating some of the sort of tactics are, he got that triple. As soon as he came into the game, he was on the front foot, chasing everything down, won the free kick that led to the goal, and it also laid it off, obviously, to back of the net. It's great to see him back, isn't it? Whether or not he's Sunday, but he will be up there if he is.
It definitely gave Stevenage something to think about, didn't it? When he came on and he started running at players and putting that ball across that box as well, in the right place at the right time. That's something we've lacked a bit, because everything's been like focused on Talai and sort of stopping him playing, and they've done that really successfully. So having Watts coming into the side and showing he's got pace, showing he's got skill, that he can find a pass, is going to be to our benefit. So yeah, it's great to have him back on the side. We've missed him, haven't we? Big style.
Yeah, we have. That's for sure. And it's been a long time since he's been out, and he was looking so good as well at the start of the season. Just picking up the comment here from Barn Park Greens. No idea what he was doing. Was doing with Boateng on the wing in a 4-4-2, while you've got Finn Amici watching for 60 minutes. Centre back, goalkeeper, striker, and winger in this January transfer window. It was interesting because in Gavin's lineup and Carl's lineup, we were very much expecting it was either going to be Boateng or Wiradou, not both of them. I think maybe with knowing how good sort of Stevenage have been at home, as Dad the Janna pointed out, they've only lost 2 or whatever it is at home all season. He maybe wanted midfield there, and that could be why he did it. I think for the game against Burton on Sunday, it's going to be an interesting one. Just on that note, Andy, if you had to choose between Wiradou and Boateng for Sunday, who are you going for?
I think, crumbs, that's a tough one, mate. I'd say Wiradou. I'd say Wiradou. That's a sewing stuff, that is. Wiradou for me, definitely. Because he just has a bit more aggression. Bit more aggression at home.
Could well be.
But saying that,
he was one of the
plays well inside with rolls, So it's a tricky one.
Sorry, this lag is causing a bit of a crossover, so sorry for that, folks. Is what it is tonight. We generally get quite stable streams in 99% of cases. Andrew saying Wiradou all day, but Boateng was definitely the better player today. Maybe it's Wiradou at home and Boateng away. Graham Burns saying neither. If we there is that. With Amici, Watson, that lot coming back, could it be an interesting team selection for Sunday? Amici for me, is good in places, and I've said it on the watch along earlier and said it before. I think his ability to take on players does lack, but with Watts being on, the pace and the speed of the movement could come into play with all of those, which could be good to see. Andrew saying gremlins seem to happen after you share something, can't do much about that. I will go. I'm going to share something else now, so I'm going to go to Harvey's post-match. So let's see how he obviously missed, just to remind everybody, the 5-1 Doncaster away win because he was Christmas shopping. But he managed to make this one, so let's hear his thoughts on the game today.
Right then, it's last full time, Stevenage 1, Plymouth Argyle 1. The points are shared as we go into this new year. Caleb Watson and Amici was the difference. I said about at half-time. They come on after we go a goal down, 2 spare men at the back post. It's sloppy defending. But you've got to remember these are 7th in the league and these are having a very good season. So to take 2 points off them at home, and it's a point gain for us going now into Sunday at home to Barton. 2 home games on the bounce now, I believe. We've got to start picking points up. Now Watts and Amici are back. Amici's getting better with every game. Watts comes on within 5 minutes, has an assist. Speaks levels to what type of player we've got when we keep him fit. But Catch me Sunday for the return back at home park with Barton. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you greets.
Yeah, there we go. Absolutely right to just point it out again. They're 7th in the league and have had a good start to the season. I don't disagree with Argo83 where he said just now, Stevenage, let's be honest, a dog shite, but we are fresh dog shite. They weren't great. We managed to manage the game in the first half, but we just let it slip in the second. So again, we've just got to iron out those kinks, but we don't seem to be doing a good job of doing it, whether it's home or away. But it's still important to pick up the result and get a point. Paul Bailey saying, I feel we have played well once or twice all season, but don't seem to be able to play the same twice yet, not consecutively. Nope. Always seems one step forward and 2 or 3 back. Boateng on his day is really good, and Watts was good. So Stephen Cooper saying, Greens, least we scored our first goal of 2026 and have not lost yet, as we've all joked about that. Hopefully we can say that we're unbeaten after playing Burton on Sunday. But this league, you just don't know what's going to happen. I have got Gavin. I might as well just play out for him because I asked him to share with us. So let me bring his
Good evening, everyone.
post-match thoughts up.
Just got into the car from a cold, wet northern Stevenage. Argyle won, as you probably know. Stevenage won. Good game in the second half. We were all about us first half and then had our usual 5-minute brain fart to concede quite a poor goal at the back post, having had 2 centre-halves, I think, be dragged across to their right, off memory. Introduction of triple substitution, Caleb Watts, Xavier Amici and Conor Hazard really turned the game. Watts looked like every time he got on the ball he was going to do something magical. I think his first or second touch he did. The guy next to me, we both agreed that taking Malachi Boateng off was a problem and that we should have took Werrido off instead, or should have took Werrido off, should have took Boateng off, and then he did what everyone would do, is egg on face, and scored a really good goal. After that it was a bit scrappy. We didn't get the ball down enough to the wide men in Amici and Watts, who were causing them trouble every time they got on the ball. I think that was our downfall. It was a bit too bud and thud, crash it up and try and win off scraps, and we just didn't win the second ball to put enough pressure on them. On reflection, I think it's a decent point away. I think most people in the ground thought that as well. They thought it was a decent draw, although I still think these sides are there for the taking, and get these better players back around the pitch and on regularly. Watts, Amici, maybe go 4-2-3-1 again and get Amici, Watson and Mumba in behind Tolly at home, that is. And then away, I thought actually Ben Pepper had an outstanding game. He put his body absolutely everywhere. There's a lot of unseen stuff that maybe wasn't on the camera. He really fought hard for the badge today and was probably my man of the match. So we're on now to Sunday, but I thought it was a good game, and now I've got the privilege of driving 4 hours and 32 minutes home. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on Sunday.
So Pepper is man of the match. Yeah, there is stuff you don't see off camera, and even in the game if you're following the play. Yeah, there's Gavin's thoughts. He went up to that Stevenage game today. I'm liking the fact and picking up Barn Park Green's points here that you heard Gavin also suggest a 4-2-3-1. So Barn Park Green said you can get them both in a 4-2-3-1, but Pepper will have to go to the bench. I'd go 3-5-2 rules. Werrido, Boateng can play with Mumba and Sorinola in their natural positions. That might be what has to come of it with Talai up there on his own. With Aseni out now, Pepper, he's still not quite where he needs to be there, Andy, is he? And I think, when you've got Amici back, when you've got Watts back, Finn, equally wants to get involved in games and has got that ability as well. We could see a really different lineup, but also a different style of play from Argyle on Sunday, where they could just get on the front foot from the off with that sort of level of players.
Yeah, we could do, and with Pepple, he's a great target man, but he's no sort of Pele. He can't find that pass, can he? Really? Yeah, I feel for him because he's had to come in and do a job since Oseni's been out. But yeah, you need 2 up front, and let's not forget that we're in the January window now, and hopefully we can bring in a couple of strikers or one striker at least to go up front with Talai. We don't know what's going to happen with Hardy yet. I think he's going to go to a champ club, but who knows? We just got to go at them. Just got to get at these teams, right? As people have said, we've been in this position too long now. We've had it really hard this season so far, I think, and I think we can't excuse the fact that we've had injuries, suspension, and all sorts of things going on with the team, which has been disruptive. And we're starting to find our feet now, and hopefully string a few wins together.
Yeah, well, laughing at the comments, Argo83 saying Pepper was awful, sorry, not sorry. And man of the match, green tints are back, Cole must have gone to his head. Yeah, it's obviously when you're watching a game, especially behind a goal where you don't get to see, obviously too much of it. You do get to see a bit more that's happening off the park if you do look around and pay attention. Especially in that sort of position, you can't do much else really. So that's his thoughts. We can agree to disagree. But for me, I wouldn't have even had Boateng as my player of the match. I would have probably gone with one of the defenders and maybe Mitchell really overall. So Stephen Cooper saying Pepper is working hard, give him that. Yeah, he is. I know Senny was doing a lot of stuff off the ball when there weren't chances going forward, and again, when then the chances did come, he was able to pit some away and assist. And like I said, Pepper did lay off a brilliant ball, but it just wasn't quite able to get there for Talai and beat the keeper to it. But he saw the pass and fed it through really well. Mark saying, I agree. I thought Pebble did well and put his heart into it. Not sure what others have seen today. This is the beauty of football, isn't it? Is everybody sees things differently. Obviously, I did watch it. Andy was listening to the radio with it earlier. There was a few that were also watching as they were in with me on the watch along. So Boateng was star man because he scored. I think, Andrew, that does give obviously him a few extra points. And let's be candid. I'll get it in as well, Andy. He did pit that ball away beautifully, whereas probably previously another player or even himself might have lashed at it thinking, oh my God, the ball's come to me, because Watts did superb to get the misplaced touch from the defender and win it and pass it across to him. So he did well to slot it into the far corner. So we'll give him that, and he got us a point for it. He got 6.6 on Fotmore, better than his usual average of 5.8. That would be Pepple. Barn Park Greens gives a lot and working a lot harder than other players. I still get an experienced forward in Jan. Well, Stephen Cooper, if I aren't mistaken, sorry, I put my teeth back, said earlier that Hardy was in town or seen in Plymouth. I don't know if that's the case or not, but he does still have his house here, so there could be an element of he's out injured, I think, so he might have come back to deal with that. So let's have a look at the lineup. So I did get Carl's lineup from him. I've only got Carl's lineup, but Carl is going with a 3-4-2-1. He's putting Pleggy back in, and I think Pleggy was probably rested, to sort of because of these close games with that knee. He's gone with Ashby Hammond, in goal. So then Pleggy, Mitchell and Galloway coming back in at home with Edwards, Rules, Wiradoo and Mumba, and then going for Amici and Watts in behind Talai. So 3-4-2-1 coming from Carl. So what do you think of Carl's suggested lineup for Burton then, Andy?
Oh, I love it. Amici and Watts, we've just talked about their pace. Whether Watts can sort of play, 60 minutes yet, I don't know. But with Amici and Watts, with Talai up front, it's going to be a big threat to Burton, really is, because they're both pacey players, they've both got skill, and that might just free Talai up to find the pass, get on the end of the pass to put the ball in the net. It's exactly what we need. Rolls and Wiradoo in the midfield. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Can't see anything much more there, which is wrong with Galloway coming back into it. Hopefully Pleggy will come back in. And Ashby Hammond, definitely. We want Ashby Hammond back in goal. Someone with confidence who can kick the ball and find a pinpoint pass,
Yeah, I think, and again, Barn Park Green's just saying, to Andrew, he's just a scapegoat, did more than Talai today, who had one run at goal. And I don't disagree. I said Talai was quite quiet from what I can rule, mentioning his name all game. Dad the Janner, what about Reed from Stevenage? Would have him. He looked... he looked good in places today, but we did frustrate him. He was the threat that Argyle had to look out for in today's game. A good one from Michael Hawks, a Reading fan, saying, does having Watts back feel like a new signing again? Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think, Andy, if we want to go on the front foot on Sunday and say, right, we need to get out there, and if you take Carl's lineup, if you've got the likes of Watts and Michi, sitting in behind to lie there, Mumba then on that left channel, Wiradoo and Rawls, who can feed them really well. Edwards likes to sneak in and get forward and drive a ball up as well when he can. Then we've got to start with Watts. If he can only make 60 minutes, fine. Use him at the start of the game. Be effective at the start of the game. Try and seal the game up before you have to consider taking him off.
The balls have dropped there, Mike. Threw me there. No, so having that pace up front on the front foot. If you've got Watts and Amici on from the start, and we go 2-0 up all of a sudden, and the game's more or less won because Burton will get back into it, then it's fine to sub him off. But if you bring him on, I think, and there's always that risk that you're going to go a goal behind, especially with Peppel's there. I'm not sort of scapegoating Peppel. He's a good player, but he hasn't got that sort of pace that Watts or Amici have got, really.
No, definitely. So I think it's, I tell you what, I'm feeling good about that game on Sunday, and Watts has just made that difference really, for me. So we'll see what it brings. I'm just looking at that latest comment in there. Let me go back to... it was Patterson. I didn't think I got it wrong. Number 44 was Patterson, not Phoenix. But Barn Park Green says, one thing that confused me and everyone around me is 44 for Stevenage. Phoenix was running Edwards ragged and going at Sukes, and they took him off. So it's a really good point. And I said this earlier, Barn Park, is that Patterson was trying to get down that left-hand wing and get some balls into the box. The balls to him were not brilliant, but when he did get the ball, in fairness, in the first half, Edwards did really, really well with Ross to block him out, and that was notable. And then come the second half, he was causing all sorts of issues. And it was Boateng that seemed to step into that defensive cover, and he did to be honest, a crap job of it. I don't know if Edwards was getting dragged. I can't remember it all back, but he certainly had more chances to get the ball in and obviously got the cross in for the goal. So, it was strange that he came off. Then number 20 didn't do too bad. I think it was who replaced him. First half, we dealt with it, managed the game. They couldn't really get a decent ball into the box. And then something happened come the second half. Andrew's saying Edwards has no legs, made the kid look good. I think that was probably because of these back-to-back games. The first 45, Edwards was fine, and then he just couldn't sustain it much longer. Obviously, he was taken off with a triple substitution, but he managed it in the first half. Watts won't start till Bristol Rovers, Steve thinks, but I think if you can get 20 minutes out of him in that game, then I would start with him, because I think we need to go out there and make a statement on that game on Sunday. Argo 83.
I think Pepper should start against Bristol Rovers, because I think that's the sort of game that Pepper will sort of thrive in. Whereas Watts, you want to risk Watts in a game like that, because that's going to be it's a West Country derby. It's not going to be a brilliant match, but you don't want to risk injury. So do we keep him for the league? That's the sort of dilemma. I wouldn't have him in a sort of Virtue Trophy game, mate.
No, that's the Tuesday game, isn't it? The following week, January the 13th, for the EFL Trophy for the Bristol Rovers match. So. It could be. We'll see. Argo 83 saying we take more fans away than Stevenage ground holds. Yeah, I think Gavin said to me, I spoke to him after the match as well, he said there's something like 1,300 of us there or something. It's a tiny, tiny ground, he said. Stephen Cooper said, I thought Edwards done well, mate. Like I said, first half, he was really good. The second half wasn't as effective. We've got to remember he's come back and then played quite a few games back to back. So there is got to be some... heaviness in his legs. We shall see whether or not he will start on Sunday. I'm not sure he will. Carl's got him in his lineup, but I think we might see him on the bench. Anyone know the full injury list currently in Cleverley Ward in Derriford? I'm going to take a punt. So we've got... Benarous wasn't in the squad either today. So let's just hope he hasn't picked up another knock. Obviously, Ibrahim's out till April. That's ongoing. Mackenzie's obviously still due to come back. Pleggy obviously is nursing that little injury, so he's in and out. Is there anybody else I've missed, Andy, that's still out, or anybody else in the chat?
Not that I can think of.
It's mainly Ibrahim and Mackenzie, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's those two. I think Pleggy might be sort of risk. I'm not sure about Belarus, but other than that, we've got a full fit squad for the first time in how long?
Yeah, well, yeah, getting there. Carl's just joined us. He said, "Evening, lads. Cough, cough." He's just missed his team being brought up, unless he was watching at that stage. So, evening to you, Carl. We're here holding the fort while you nurse your little cold in bed with your man flu. Hopefully, your missus is looking after you. Pato, yes, thank you, Carl. He's coming with the an Aseni. Oh God, Jesus! I tell you what, yes, there's two of them.
Yeah, oh my goodness, we're not doing very well tonight, Mike. Gremlins in the work, Dale, yeah, and Dale, it's hard to team out, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, Christ. Well, I've done a lot of talking today, so you can forgive me. Andy, you just need to do better. So Aseni, Mackenzie, we got Dale, we've got Pato. I'm sure there was one other in there. Anyway, so a few injuries, but at least we've got one of the star players back. I think if Dale was going back to Dale, if he was going to be returned to Oxford, he would have gone back by now, wouldn't he? I would have thought. I don't. Same as McCabe, Andy. You think if McCabe was going to go back and the club were going to get something else for him, they would have probably announced that he's gone, but he's still here.
You've got to have players to come in first, though, I think, mate, haven't you? We haven't had any sort of movement yet.
Nope.
In sort of 1st of Jan. Not a lot of movement going on the transfer market. I think there's one transfer been made today to Chesterfield, as far as I'm aware, but apart from that, it's all quiet, isn't it?
No, well, I know my work colleague who's a Doncaster fan said that they had two of their loanees go back. I think if the parent club has opportunities for them to go elsewhere, they'll return them. But yes, until we know what could be coming through the door, then we don't really want to go and just make any silly decisions. I still think, sort of McCabe has an opportunity in a team when they are attacking and driving forward. Certainly not when they're, behind in a game and are looking like they're not going to get anything out of it. Carl saying just now, one step ahead, Argo 83, wearing my tenor ladies tonight. He did say that was Argo 83 saying just now that Carl don't go wet in the bed. Argo 83 also saying they give you green crutches as a souvenir when you're injured. Stephen Cooper asking if Argo are on Sky on Sunday. Is every game on Sunday, Andy? Do you know, or is it just us?
It is, yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. I can look if you like.
Yeah, so it would make sense, of course, because there's only then a couple of games gap house, 1 day gap house. So I imagine it might be on Sky Sports Plus. So if that is the case, Stephen, we will be there anyway. Andy, myself, Carl, I'm sure, as well as Gavin. What else have we got? Stephen Vaughan saying Edwards needs a rest, but he's there for his leadership on the pitch. Yeah, when he went off, the armband was given a Hazard, which again I always find strange. But is what it is. I don't think Hazard's ever going to get dropped unless he leaves in January. But that's just the way it is, I think. Sam Bell got an assist for Bristol City, played for Wickham the other day. Wow. Dad the Jana, every game is on Sunday. Thank you for clarifying. Michael Hawkes, what's your next 3 league games? You could be don't, Mike, don't just because you're up there, Mike. Just
he's got a nosebleed up there, isn't he? He's got a nosebleed.
Yeah, so obviously it is Burton on Sunday, the 4th of Jan, 3 p.m. kickoff, and then
got the Mickey Mouse Cup, haven't we?
Yeah, then it's a week and a day before Tuesday the 13th when we play Bristol Rovers in the EFL Trophy. And then we go away to Peterborough, who won again today on the 17th, Saturday. That will be a real tough test for Argyle. And then we're home to Luton on the 24th. January then concludes with a number of 3 games back-to-back, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So Luton at home. It's a 12:30 kickoff, that one, on Saturday the 24th, followed by the Tuesday. It's Mansfield at home. And then we go away on the Saturday, the 31st, to conclude the January fixtures, where we face Stockport County. So Yeah, again, you could say there's some winnable games in there, some tough ones in there, but every game is so different at the minute, Andy.
Yeah, on paper it's winnable, isn't it? We've said this before. We've shot ourselves in the foot many times. So we say, "Oh, we're going to get 9 points from the next 3 games." What do we know? We've got to sort our home form out. Once we sort the home form out, we'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. And thanks for that, Stephen. Yeah, he says, Happy New Year, Mike and Andy. I support this great pod, so keep it up. Happy New Year to everybody, he says. On the rules thing, where Argo 83 said rules is probably will go back now he's seen enough. Well, rules is obviously a free transfer that joined us. Hopefully we can do something with his contract. But I also agree with whoever it said, it was Dad the Janner, would have thought rules should be the next in line as captain. I know, forget about 10 years and all that bollocks. If you are clearly someone that can lead a team on the pitch, and he did used to be captain before, was it Cardiff? I always get it confused. Cardiff. Then I don't care. If you can do the job, and I can see that you can take the team and get them organised. That's who's getting the band at the end of the day. It is absolutely useless giving it to a goalkeeper who's stuck on his line and just can't really do much to engage with the team out in the pitch. I just find it the most bizarre decision you can ever do to a player. Yeah. So to give to a goalkeeper. Argo 83 saying, who's Mackenzie? Does anyone know exactly? Kami Tarasaki coming in. Equally saying any news on Mackenzie. I want to see him play for Argyle. We might or might not get to see that. Who knows? Paul Bailey saying, who would want Hazard? A lot of teams want a keeper with good distribution. Yeah, I think if he's not happy, assuming he's not happy, he's got to be performing better and commanding his box for other teams to want to take an interest in him. I agree with that. Barn Park Green's also saying Rawls would just become a free agent again, highlighting the point I just said to Argo 83. So, but yeah, hopefully we can sort out a deal for him. Brian Pinaretta saying Argyle ladies play this Saturday, big game versus Watford. It is, as we mentioned in the last show. So battle for second place and playoff stop for next season. Yeah, so that should be a cracking game. That's on, I think, if my recollection's right, is it like a 1:30, something like that, kickoff? I could be wrong. So just check on the Argyle website. But yeah, that will be a very, very good game indeed. And I think Gavin is planning.
Really good shout about Callum Burton, actually. Carl's just put in the comments.
Yeah, true. Callum Burton on loan.
Really well.
Yeah, wouldn't say no to recalling him back. It'll be interesting to see what Argyle do with their loanees that they've got. Obviously, we had Hatch come back and get recalled and haven't seen him or featured in any subs bench since that one showing that he got. Pitt and Argyle lady in goal can't be much worse, or maybe not, says Argo 83. Miron might take Hazard, says Stevie Vaughan. Oh, I doubt that. I'll be surprised. Yeah, so I think we'll wrap up with that. We're still trying to sort of work out what we're going to do in terms of the next live, obviously with Burton game being on Sunday. So it will either be a Sunday evening one or we may push it out to Monday. But we will let you all know. You'll soon see if you are watching us on YouTube, obviously as long as you're subscribed and press the bell, then once I book the live in, you'll see when that goes. We'll try and make a call on that on Saturday at least. There's a chance it could be either day, but we just need to work out what everybody's doing. But other than that, any final thoughts from yourself, Andy?
Not really. I just want us to start, being consistent and winning games now. And I think we've got the players coming back into the team who have got that quality and ability to do that, to sort of push us forward. The Watts, Amici, people like that. They're going to be the ones that are going to drive this club forward a bit more now with the pace and stuff. Yeah. But other than that, no real comments to think about, really.
No, I think be patient, I suppose, to a degree. I'm not trying to be happy clapping, but I think if we can get the players' heads sorted for our home performances, with the likes of Watts coming back in, as Andy just said, in Amici and stuff like that. Cheers, Argo 83. Then I think we will start to see us do well. It's just we've got to just work out and deal with whatever's causing that issue at home. And I think with the potential for a really exciting starting 11 on Sunday, could really put a good start to the new year with getting a win at home. Clearly, our away form, 4 unbeaten, 10 points from it since we got that away win to Port Vale. It's 5 away wins if you include also the Leyton Orient EFL Trophy Cup win. So it's glad and thankful that our away form has turned a corner. But we all desperately want to see something better at home, and then that will see us climb the league. GT says, come on, you Greens. Let's smash Burton on Sunday. Great show as usual, says Michael Hawkes. Thanks, gents. Who needs Carl and Gavin? We all do. We'll leave them to it on the next one. Barn Park Green saying, good to see the rubbish Adam Randall scoring again, as a comment just leaves my screen for Bristol. We mentioned that earlier. Carl also saying, Argo 83, I'm going to invest in a paddling pool to sleep in just in case we lose. There he is with his dodgy dad jokes. Sorry, Carl. Simon Fort saying, thanks, lads. Come on, you Greens. Yep, let's look forward to Sunday, folks. And then when we reconvene with you all, let's see if we're really happy or even more fed up to start our 2026. Thanks for joining me tonight, Andy, and thank you all in the comments. Until